Young or old, transfer or mainstay, play the best 11 guys you got.
You are Locked On Wolfpack, your daily podcast on the NC State Wolfpack, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, Wolfpack Nation? It's time to get locked in with Locked On. Thanks for making Locked On Wolfpack your first listen each and every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Our Wednesday sponsor is FanDuel. Place your first $5 bet and you'll get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Head on over to FanDuel.com in order to get started. Happy Wednesday to all. As always, I'm Grayson Boone, joined by former Wolfpack defensive tackle Kenton Gibbs. Kenton, we're going to start here with a little discussion that we've kind of already hinted at earlier in the week, and I'm looking at the wide receivers, in particular, the rotation of said wide receivers. Something that we have preached here in the first 4 weeks of the season. Doesn't matter if they're freshmen, doesn't matter if they're transfers, doesn't matter if they've been here for 4 years already. You need to play the best 11 guys you have on both sides of the ball. Now, I know we're going to focus here offensively, talk about the wide receiver group. We've also talked extensively about this offense needing to potentially start airing it out to fix some of the smaller problems that are ailing this offense. The O-line has excelled the most during pass block, and we've seen the most success at moving the ball downfield when we're in that passing mindset. So that being said, in my opinion, the best 11 guys you have on the field for offense, you have your 5 linemen, you have quarterback CJ Bailey, RB1, that's up for debate. I would probably lean toward Kendrick Raphael at this point. Your flex Y, I want Justin Jolie. Wide receivers, give me Noah Rogers, give me Wesley Grimes, give me KC Concepcion in the slot. Let's roll. I need to see those 11 on the field for the majority of the snaps on offense. Those 11 give you the highest rate of explosive plays, and they give you the best chance of putting points on the scoreboard.
I might flop Dakari and Wesley, but I'm fine with that either way. I'm going to tell you, I like Dakari Collins a lot. I think that every time he's, you talk about Robert and I and be relevant when your number is called. I mean, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but to me, not only does the rotation need to shrink, but the targets needs to be more evenly distributed. We need to shrink the rotation and get it to the guys who are playing because, again, listen, I love me some KC. Love me some KC. He's so good. I don't even harp on the fact that his nickname is a lot like saying ATM machine or PIN number. Like it's your personal ID number. You're saying personal ID number, or ATM machine. You're saying automatic teller machine. You get what I'm saying? Like KC Concepcion is much in that same vein. I don't harp on it, even though that's one of the things that grinds my gears because of how much I love him. But damn it, we got other playmakers. We got other guys that you can find, you can hit. They can make it happen. You can work it out with them. And so the wide receiver rotation should shorten. But again, to me, if you're playing, I think Keenan Jackson, Terrell Anderson are the last two that should be in that group. To me, I don't think anybody else should be playing meaningful snaps outside of the guys you just named and those two. And when you get to that point, to me, spread it out. Find open guys. Find whoever is open. Because how many times have we seen Keenan Jackson get open this year in big spots? How many times have we seen him, oh, man, that's a really good route? The commentator saying, oh, freshman Keenan Jackson was wide open there. It's get these guys, again, shorten the rotation, put meaningful players in, but find them. Don't just put meaningful players in to be different decoys for KC. That's stupid. Use your common sense. Get the ball to all of these guys, and that will open up KC more than we can even imagine.
I find this conversation interesting because I remember after our week 1 win over Western, I ran a poll that basically said KC Concepcion had 14 targets, which was, I believe, 9 more than anyone else on the team. Does that concern you? And at the time, the majority of people said, no, Casey's the best player. Why wouldn't you get him the majority of the targets? I do believe that is still true. However, I think if you look at it now, KC has started to become a little bit ineffective because teams are looking at him and say, hey, Isn't that KC Concepcion guy? Yeah, let's not let him beat us. And when teams go out there and do that and they limit him, but we still force the ball to him 10, 12, 14 times, you're not going to find that same effectiveness that you found last year. So, in a sense, if you reduce the amount of times you're going to KC, your other guys get more effective, but so does KC. If the defense doesn't know who you're going to go to every time it's a pass play, everyone else becomes more dangerous. I don't mean to talk in a condescending tone here, but you can't keep forcing the ball to KC and expect a different result. He is an outstanding athlete. He's the best wide receiver on this team. All of that is still true. But if a team knows it's coming, they're going to know how to stop it. I need Noah Rodgers to get more targets and more receptions. I need Justin Jolie, more targets, more receptions. I've been really impressed with Wesley Grimes, even in limited capacity. He's only had, I think, 2 catches a game, if that. Same with Dakari Collins. Dakari Collins has quietly had a couple pretty solid games. They need more targets. And this also connects to the idea we just need to start throwing it more. With all due respect to the running backs and the offensive line and the run game as a whole, it has not been as effective as moving the ball through the air. Do what works. That's what we did last year to end the season 5-0. Do it now. Do what works.
I think that KC should be the leader in receptions. I don't think he should get the majority. Yes. I don't think that he should have more receptions or more targets than the entire rest of the team, basically. That is insane. It is unfathomable. It is unfathomable to see a wide receiver room this talented. And yet, Philip says this is the most talented receiver room he's ever been around. What does that mean for the rest of the guys? That means to me, the other guys, again, if their one is better than our one, the other guys, the depth, the talent spread around, that's where it goes. And so you need to spread the damn ball around. Get all of these guys involved. Again, I'm not saying that you need to play 9, 10 wide receivers again. I'm not saying that. I'm saying all of the receivers and tight ends you are playing, find ways to get them all the ball. And they will all do good things for you.
We didn't bring guys like Noah Rodgers and Wesley Grimes to NC State to be decoys for KC Concepcion. It needs to be the opposite direction. I've said this several different times on here before, but creating that situation where a defense is looking at our offense and they have to literally pick their poison. They don't know if it's going to be KC, Jolie, Wesley Grimes, Noah Rodgers. That makes you so unbelievably dangerous with the ball in your hands. And 4 games into the season, we've yet to even sniff a situation close to that. That is baffling to me. And I know I keep harping on that. I'm going to keep harping on it until we see it come into fruition. It is that important. I'm no rocket scientist here, but getting the ball into the hands of your best players, more often than not, that's probably a good formula for winning some football games. Get the ball to the guys you brought here to catch the ball. Spread the ball to everyone. In addition to KC, you want to get him touches as well. He's dynamite. We know this. Wesley Grimes can also be dynamite, but we don't know if we don't get him the ball. Justin Jolie, we have gotten him the ball. He is dynamite. Keep getting him the ball. Noah Rodgers. How do we find out what Noah Rodgers is if he can't get the ball? Please get this man the ball and let him show you who he is. I think you'll be delighted with the result.
Pick your poison is real easy for defenses when they know exactly what poison is coming.
Exactly.
The first thing,
they ain't picking the poison.
The first thing that a doctor will ask you if you say, or the first thing that an EMS will ask you if you say you got a snake bite, they won't ask where. They'll start asking questions about what type of snake bit you. You know why? Because if they know the snake, they know the antidote. You get me? You know exactly what KC is. You know the antidote. But what if there were multiple snakes? What if there were multiple? You don't know which one, because it could be the 6'4" guy that can separate from you vertically or make it really hard to tackle him after he gets the ball in his hand. It could be the 250-pound tight end that's got some wiggle and some shake to him. It could be the former 5-star who can make just about every catch. He's just a freak of nature. He does it all. It could be the lesser heralded guy from Wake Forest who just always seems to make good things happen when the ball is in his hands. It could be that freshman that's running some hellified routes with a big body and a wide catch radius. It could be the freshman that's known for laying out for balls whenever they're within his garage wide, 2-car garage wide catch radius. Which antidote do I need? You shouldn't know.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Coming up next, we're getting into the Locked On Look of the Week, looking at exactly the moment that things went south in Clemson. This comes after a quick word from our sponsors. Our second sponsor of the day is LinkedIn Jobs. When you're hiring for your small business, you want to find quality professionals that are just right for that role. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. LinkedIn isn't just another job board. They help you hire professionals that you simply cannot find anywhere else, even those who are not actively searching for a new job, but may be open to the perfect role. In any given month, over 70% of LinkedIn users don't visit other leading job sites. So quite frankly, if you're not on LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place. LinkedIn knows that small businesses are wearing so many hats, they simply might not have the time or resources to effectively hire. That's why LinkedIn is constantly finding ways to make this process easier. They've even just launched a feature that helps you write job descriptions, which streamlines this process. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. That's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Middle portion of our Wednesday show. It's now time for the Locked On Look of the Week, looking back at the moment that things went south on Saturday down in Clemson. Kenton, what do you got for us?
Fake jet sweep, quarterback counter that led to a 55-yard touchdown that would have counted in one-hand touch football. You see, this play, I wondered what State was doing until I watched it in quarter motion. Okay, it's super slow-mo, not half the frames that it normally goes at, a quarter of them, 1/4. So things appear to be very slow, and you can see where guys' eyes are and what guys are doing. Okay, and what Clemson did here, arc release from the tight end, the back goes out as if he was going to be the lead blocker on a jet sweep. Williams, who is obviously a big play threat, is the fake jet guy, and Cade Klubnik is being led by the escort of his left guard and left tackle on the round. Okay, that's what the play is. That's what the play is offensively. Defensively, what State is bringing is cover one, essentially. Okay, so what we have here, Sean Brown is coming, and if Sean Brown, or if the formation stays 2-by-2, Kaufman ends up manned up on 10. Aiden White ends up manned up on Williams, and that's kind of how they do that, right? That's what it's supposed to be. However, Williams goes in motion. So 2-by-2 turns into 3-by-1. So that 3-by-1, I could tell that this was cover one, not based on anything other than the reaction of the safety and these two strong side linebackers that are standing on the paw right now. At the snap of this ball, all three of them went to somebody, went directly to somebody to make sure, hey, I'm with this guy at the snap. So to the untrained eye, one would say, oh, Tony Gibson got fooled. They got fooled. This is what it is. However, if you know what to look for, you know what's happening. For example, when Williams goes in motion and your front side safety starts rolling down, you know there's supposed to be somebody to replace him. Guess who's supposed to replace him, Grayson? DK Kaufman, the other safety that's pretty high right there. When one goes down, one goes up. They work like a pulley or some type of lever. It's supposed to work like that. One is high, one is low. The one that's low, you're in man. The one that's high, middle third. Boom. That's what you're doing. One's playing center field, one's playing man. The problem is when one dropped down to play man, the other did not go up to play center field. But not only did he not do that, there's more. RIP to Billy Mays, but wait, there's more. Now, on the snap, okay, you see the three matching their three in terms of number 11, number 7, and whoever this backside linebacker is that was on the ball. You can see Everybody is accounted for 3-3 on that front side. Sean Brown has come on the blitz. The pulling guard kicked Sean Brown out. And I'm going to tell you, Sean Brown didn't do a perfect job, didn't do excellent. He did a good job of boxing this. There are two different ways to handle a puller. You can box it or you can spill it. Both come with their strengths and weaknesses. I don't have all the time to go through all of that for this, but spilling it makes the ball go east and west, okay? Now, in theory, that sounds good. The weakness of it, however, is it gives you a very high chance to get blown the hell up because you are supposed to take your outside arm and rip it across the guy that's pulling to get you. Now, that sounds easy. However, when you're ripping across, you've opened up basically your entire chest for a man that's much larger than you to say, hey, come here, buddy. Let's go talk over here real quick. You know?
Let's
so
dance.
That's exactly, let's dance. You know, get up here. Let's dance. You know, you're giving them a chance to hit you with that. But when you box it, the ball has to go north and south. However, it gives you a higher success rate and it gives you a better chance at condensing the hole. Because the most important thing sometimes is not to make the play, it's to make it easier for someone else to make the play. So both of these linebackers are boxing. But Grayson, what's going on up there in that orange circle? For those of you who are listening and not watching, the outside receiver, mind you, it was 2x2 originally. Williams goes away because he's the fake jet motion or he's the fake jet sweep guy. 10 is now stalk blocking DK Kaufman. Now, some of you are probably looking at this red curved arrow. Like, what does that mean? What does that look like? Well, it's supposed to be where DK Kaufman is supposed to be in a perfect world. In a perfect world, he's to the inside. Now, Grayson, let me ask you a question. At what age did you stop playing football? At what age did you say football isn't for me anymore?
I was 12. I sprained my MCL and hung him up for baseball.
Ah, okay. So, you know, we're not going to get into the details of it, but Grayson learned quickly, I'm a baseball guy. This ain't for me. However, hypothetically, Grayson, if you were to see a situation like this, which one of these things would you want? One guy inside, one guy outside, two guys inside, two guys outside. Which one would you want?
You need one in, one out.
One in, one out. One in, one out. Leverage from two different ends. You'll take that deal?
I'll take that deal.
I'll take that deal. One inside, one outside. Because whichever way he goes, again, it's not guaranteeing that Kaufman makes the tackle, not guaranteeing that Aiden White makes the tackle, but it guarantees that you're at least going to have somebody that very likely slows his momentum, very likely gives the posse some time to arrive. Again, that's what we would see in a perfect world. And I'm sorry to take away from Sean Brown's good job of boxing this in this moment, because again, as you can see from these arrows, Aiden White's supposed to be outside, Kaufman's supposed to be inside. Make it hard. Grayson, we're looking at Cade Fordham boxing the backside tackle. He does a damn good job because, as you can see, Cade Klubnik is having to change his running path because Cade Fordham is under that young man and he stood him up. Cade Fordham is the low man, and low man wins in football, but there seems to be a problem, Grayson. There seems to be a problem. Up top, what we got going on up there? What is that?
We got two outside.
Two outside, no inside. Grayson, you'll take that deal?
I'm not taking that one.
I don't want that deal. You know, I feel like this is deal or no deal, and I feel like I got the $1 million case. Howie, go ahead. No deal. I don't want nothing to do with that. And yet, this is the deal that we're having to take because for whatever reason, not only does your safety that's low rotate high, not only does he not do that, he then decides to get outside leverage on a receiver that is stalk blocking him, which is it's literally mind-boggling a little bit because I'm legitimately like, if we do the numbers here, why? What did you gain? So we go to, wait a minute. I get it now, Grayson.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
I know why he did it. I know. See, DK Kaufman, that's a good man. That's a good man right there. You know why? he wants to get his good friend Andrew Bartholomew Air in on this. We haven't talked about Andy Air one time. We ain't talked about him one time all year. And DK said, Andy's getting a little lonely. He's getting a little lonely. I think Andy should be out of eligibility right now, but he's always going to be around. He's never going to graduate. So now we see a situation where it's Cade Klubnik and Andy Air one-on-one. And is DK Kaufman getting tugged here? Absolutely.
Yeah, he's getting dragged
Absolutely.
to hell. Still.
Absolutely. Listen, I'm not denying, hey, that's a hole. Sure. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Absolutely. But you know what happens? You know what stops them from even being able to hold like that? You know what makes it more visible when you're being held like that? When the quarterback has to stop his feet, slow down, make a move, make a decision. This is not making him make a decision. This is making him say, oh, great, there's the inside open. I think I'm going to run now. I think I'm going to run. And boom, there he goes up to Pat Howard's rock. And this is a small gripe, but Aiden White, go be an athlete. Go chase down that damn quarterback. Go chase down that quarterback. I get it. You're not going to make your guy right, but at least give your defense another shot at getting the stop. Because, boy, that is at about the 45-yard line. You've got some time. Go. Explode. You're a bat out of hell. Get him. And that's how the first touchdown was scored. Because, again, for the most part, everybody on the front side did their job except one guy. And that one guy not doing his job well was all it took. That was it. That was it. Your defensive end in this B gap, I get it. You know, Red Hibbler obviously was not supposed to get washed down that deep end. But, boy, it's tough for me to say, hey, it's all on him when we could have had a safety make this tackle. And again, I'm not making any excuses for Red because you start off this play slightly outside of the hash marks, and you end this play, if you're talking about where Red Hibbler is, on the inside of the hash marks. You getting washed down that much is never a good thing. And if you're stronger and hold firmer at that point, you now help out Caden Fordham. You now help out DK Kaufman. You now help out Aiden White. Because, again, Cade did an amazing job of blowing this thing up. He condensed the hole as much as he could. But the fun thing about a hole is it has two different wall edges that create it. One edge is firm. It's there. Nothing to do. The other edge is soft and rolling inside. So, you know, obviously we need more from Hibbler there. But Cade Fordham did a great job here. It's just, for whatever reason, our starting safety said, 2 outside, no inside. I'll take that deal. And Cade Klubnik says, so would I. And then he goes for 55.
Coming up next, we're getting into a new Wednesday bit. It's called Hump Day Hot Takes. This comes after a quick word from our sponsors. Our third Wednesday sponsor is FanDuel. NFL fans, you can start the season with a big return on FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. When you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the very same page that you're placing all of your bets. You'll get started with $200 back in bonus bets guaranteed when you place just your first $5 bet. If you're taking NC State to cover the touchdown spread on Saturday against Northern Illinois, don't waste any more time. Head on over to FanDuel.com. Last couple minutes of our Wednesday show. It's now time for the debut of Hump Day Hot Takes. We each have 2 hot takes. We're going to try and defend them as well. Here we go. My first one. Coach Dorn talked on Monday about potentially the defensive rotation looking different come game day on Saturday. My first hot take, Devon Betty. I'm not meaning to call him out. I don't want to be too harsh, but we're calling a spade here. Devon Betty needs a reduced snap count. When you're looking at the 2 other linebackers so far, Caden Fordham and Sean Brown both are 1 and 2 in tackles. Caden Fordham, 28, Sean Brown, 27. Devon Betty at the Sam, 10. Caden Fordham, 1.5 TFLs. Sean Brown, 3 TFLs. Devon Betty, one half of a TFL. Caden Fordham, 2 PBUs, a QB hurry, and a fumble recovery. Sean Brown, a sack and 5 QB hurries. Devon Betty, 1 quarterback hurry. That's the end of his stat sheet. We've had some constructive criticism for Devon Betty over the course of his tenure here at NC State. It hasn't been just this year. The fact that we're still harping on Devon Betty, something has to change, respectfully. If we're not seeing it at this point of the season, when things need to be changed, I think Devon Betty is one of those things. Perhaps you bring in Jalen Parker. I know he's a Mike, but if he can give you something at the Sam that's better than what you're getting out of Betty, I think that's a risk you have to take at this point. There is nobody that should feel concrete in their position. I think there should be, at this point, based on what we've seen, there should probably be healthy competition at like 8 of 11 spots in this defense. Nobody should feel comfortable. Devon Betty especially, I think you take a closer look at that snap count.
You know where I stand on this. And like I've told everybody, this is my most consistent take. And watch this. It doesn't just go for quarterbacks. If I'm going to lose, if I'm going to be bad, who am I going to do it with, Grayson?
The young guys.
The young guys. Not a guy that is getting ready to either go to the league or learn enterprise rental car or whatever the case may be. Sorry. Get me a young guy in there. If I'm going to have somebody be out of position, if I'm going to have somebody that can't get off blocks, if I'm going to have somebody that isn't great at rushing the passer, at least give me a guy that I'm like, all right, a year from now, he'll get better because he's getting whooped on right now. At least give me that, because at this point, like you said, you got to call a spade at some point in time.
Kenton, your first hot take, what do you got for us?
Davin Vann is the only money year guy that's playing like there's money on the floor.
Can't disagree.
He's the only one. Belt, the money was there to be made. It was right there. It was right there. He ain't making it. Aiden White, the money was there to be made. He ain't doing it. There's guys in this program that this is your last go round. People are talking about you as a mid-level draft guy, and you're playing your way out of it, man. You're playing your way out. Again, I'm never upset at a guy's limitation. When I saw Aiden White not be able to run down K. Klubnik, there's a reason I didn't bang on the table and make that the main point of the play. You know why? I have said time and time again, Aiden White is more of a football player than an athlete. Because that's what he is. He's more of a guy who, hey, hell of a corner, hell of a high corner. He's not going to be the guy that's like 4'2", and the short shell and all that is going to blow you out. He's not that guy. It's okay. But there still needs to be an air of dominance. There still needs to be the thought of, hey, forget what y'all talking about. I'm going to dominate this game. I'm not going to be good. I'm going to be dominant. One of the guys who is a money year for is off the team now, apparently. And I might add Dakari Collins to the group of money year guys that are doing something positive for themselves. But even with him, it's like the quarterback has to get you the ball.
Yeah, get him the ball first. Yeah.
The quarterback got to get you the ball. So, because the guy who's responsible for getting it to you, his money year ain't panning out. Your money year ain't panning out. It's just, it's really sad to see. Because, again, we talk about senior leadership, but even beyond leadership, where's your personal pride? Where's your personal, hey, I've got to get to the NFL. I'm going to give everything I got in. If I can't do it because it's a limitation, I can't do it. But when it comes to my effort, when it comes to my detail, when it comes to I know this game like the back of my hand, I'm going to show it in spades. It's just not happening.
My second hot take, it's hotter than the first. Another thing that Coach Dorn mentioned on Monday, he was asked about if the defense may be looking to change personnel potentially into some 3-4 or 4-3 looks. The answer was an emphatic no. My hot take is they should. I think you need to be looking at a 4-man defensive front for NC State to experience a little bit more success on defense. The 3-3-5 is so dependent on extremely high-level linebacker play. I don't know if you have the horses in the stable to accomplish that in 2024. So with that being said, adding another defensive lineman to the mix, you might just see yourself getting a whole lot more pressure into the backfield on the quarterback, on the running back, whoever it may be. I feel like that has a greater chance of positively influencing your defense than what you're running out there right now. And I understand Tony Gibson's a very proud man, and he should be proud of running out the 3-3-5 and putting up gaudy numbers every year. It has been great. This year, not great. And if you don't make extensive changes now, it's more than likely going to continue to be not great. I'd be very interested to see what adding in another defensive lineman to make it a 4-man front. I feel pretty strongly that you get a lot more pressure back there in the backfield, and that would help out all over the field in your defense.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad. I believe we have more good defensive linemen than we have linebackers right now.
True.
And you never want to fit square pegs in the round holes. Right now, we're just trying to mash the gas and saying we are who we are. And trust me, I'm a firm believer in the best defenses don't adjust to you. They make you adjust to them. I get it. I understand that. But maybe we can make them adjust to us by slightly tweaking what we do, because it's not about the offense. It's about you. And if you can come out with, hey, you know what? We're switching to a 4-man front. This is what we're doing now. Who knows? My second hot take, as much as we've talked about all the things that have gone wrong with this team, Doran could very well keep the 8 wins a year streak alive with this team. That is still a definitive possibility here.
The schedule's there.
It's mind-boggling for me to look at our schedule and say that. And don't get me wrong. Am I saying I'm guaranteeing 8? No, not saying that at all. What I am saying is, for as bad as this team has looked through 4 games, having to fight for your life and come back against Louisiana Tech and Western Carolina, many people will call me insane. I believe the under-over for wins for NC State has dropped to like 5.5 or something like that at this point.
Yeah, the FPI has it at like 5.5.
I am telling you, 8 is possible. 8 is very, very possible for multiple reasons. I'm not sure if they get there, but it's definitely possible, which feels insane. And I'm not saying mathematically possible. I mean, with the assembly of players we have right now, 8 should not be off the table.
That'll do it for us here on Wednesday. As always, hit that like button if you have not already. Drop your comments in the comment box. Tell us what you think about the use of the wide receivers up to this point. Should they shorten the rotation? Should they change the way the targets are being distributed? If you think so, let us know in the comments. Let us know what you think about Kenton's Locked On Look of the Week, the moment where things went south down there in Clemson, and our Hump Day hot takes. If you agree or if you disagree, both ways, we want to know how you feel. Let us know in the comment box. Mash that subscribe button if you have not already, and we'll see you right back here on Thursday, diving into the NIU Huskies coming to town this weekend. Until then, go Pack.
Go Pack.